We were always devout and strong in our faith, and then experiencing the suffering and death of our daughter made us have one goal in life, and that was to get to heaven or bust. And so it's become our family mission to get to heaven. I'm grateful to have the sisters as part of our community because they're a beautiful example of Christ's love, and they strengthen me by their example.
With the eyes of faith, we can see God's living presence in the world and in our lives. When we decide to let Jesus into our hearts and we strive for holiness, only then can we experience profound and complete joy and fulfillment. God wants all of us to be holy, living joyfully in His presence. This is the mission He has given Pro Ecclesia Sancta, to give and remind everyone of their call to holiness. And with this purpose, in 2012, He chose Minnesota to be the first mission abroad of the Sisters of Pro Ecclesia Sancta. Since arriving, we have witnessed the intense longing of Jesus, desiring to be more deeply loved. God continues to invite us to help strengthen more families and youth from various parishes and schools. He has blessed us with more sisters to be other reminders of His presence in the world.
As I serve the Lord, I am able to clearly see this great mission that the Lord has entrusted to us, to remind people that He is alive and present, and that we are called to respond to His love by striving for holiness in our daily lives. To be able to fulfill this mission, we strive to have an ever deeper relationship with Jesus Christ. We can do nothing without Him. He who we encounter every day in the Eucharist is the one we seek in all we do. We may do many things during the day, sometimes big projects, but most of the time ordinary activities. But the only thing that matters is that we do them out of a profound love for the Sacred Heart. Through the religious vows we make, we proclaim to the world that God is enough to fulfill our hearts.
Jesus is calling the disciples and us to become more like Him, the light of and the light for the world. We just have to watch the sisters minister to see what that means. In my conversations with people, they will always say the sisters are so real and sincere and honest. And so when they see that, and they see the joy and the happiness that you live, that's something very powerful to the community. And what the people are seeing, I think, is holiness. They're seeing the holiness in you. And so whether it's a young group of kids or young adults or middle-aged people or older people, the message that I hear is always the same. The sisters are doing good work. They're doing God's work. And I want some of that. And so for us, that's a very powerful message.
When I met the sisters, God began to show me through their lives what it means to completely empty yourself, to abandon yourself into the loving arms of God and allow Him to lead. As I spent time with the sisters and grew in my prayer life, I encountered in a more profound way the love of Jesus and His living presence in my life. I saw how much joy it brought the sisters to say yes to the Lord and to trust in His providence for their every need, and the joy they had in sharing the love of Christ's heart to everyone they met. Christ wants to make Himself known. It's a beautiful gift. We've been entrusted with a place to allow for it to happen.
God calls us to much more than the world offers us. Every human heart was made with a deep desire for and a great capacity to love. In the Sacred Heart of Jesus Convent, the Lord has given us a special place for all God's people to encounter His love. We are here to help you discover even more deeply the heart of Jesus, which alone can fill that longing in our souls.